Well, the city of Bengaluru is in an untenable situation. The latest reports coming out of the city says techies are now fleeing the city and going back to their hometowns to work from there because there's simply no water in the city. To put it in a nutshell, the city only has access to about half the water it requires. The state government has seized water tankers. It has banned washing your car. It has banned the use of Kaveri water for construction. Uh, the situation seems extremely difficult. Joining me right now to talk about what's happening to the city of Bangalore is Mr. Mohandas Pai, who's a business leader and an investor. Mr. Pai, good afternoon, and thank you for speaking with me. The city, attracts a large amount of investment, pays a great deal of tax. To actually be in a situation where there's no running water in most buildings is embarrassing, isn't it?
I think it's a very terrible situation. This happened because successive governments have ignored the city. It doesn't matter whether BJP government or the Congress government or anybody else, they have ignored the city. Everybody knew there's going to be a water crisis because the monsoon was not good this year. Yet they did not take precautions. They did not do things. There is no advanced planning for Bangalore. When you have a city like Bangalore, which is growing very fast with a population of 1.2 crores, people say it is more, and it could go to 1.5 crores by 2030. You must plan for a population of about 2 crores and get the water in. There is no dearth of money. We pay. Karnataka is possibly the richest state in India with a per capita income of more than 4 lakh crores next year. It has got a huge amount of money coming in. Government spends 2,90,000 crores in revenue expenditure. It borrows 1 lakh crore this year. Sadly, this government is have a revenue deficit of 27,000 crores in the budget, is borrowing to give all the freebies to people instead of investing. Now we have a phase of the Kaveri called the fifth phase, I think, fifth or sixth phase, which is supposed to happen in May. I think it's already been delayed. We don't know whether it's going to happen because what has happened, Bangalore has added 110 villages to that 100 wards that was there many years ago. And the governance has broken down and water is supposed to come. But the sad tragedy is Kaveri Dam at Mysore itself has low water. So we are in a crisis. It could have been done much better. The government under the DCM has set up a war room, but they're not telling us, Faye, how much water the dam has till June 30th, by which hopefully the monsoon will come. Will the water suffice for the old area of the city? For the external area of the city, will we have enough water in tankers to give them a semblance of civilization in the form of water? Do we have to evacuate 10-15% of the population and ask them to leave the place where tanker water is coming, Kaveri water is not there? When are we going to take decisions? They must give us a plan till 30th of June. There's been a knee-jerk reaction. Ban all tankers, ask them to register, seize tankers. It's the old Congress ideology of a licensed quota Raj. They should have consultation with all the stakeholders, industry, apartment owners, associations, with civil society, give them all the data, work out a solution and work on a war footing with everybody's cooperation. Instead of that, we have a war room set up by government, only government servants are there, and then they go and say, we'll ban you, we'll fine you, we'll do everything. It's an authoritative government that is trying to impose its way. But the sad thing is, Faye, successive governments have ignored Bangalore. Bangalore is about 55-60% of Karnataka's GDP. Karnataka's GDP is about $340 billion this year. Bangalore should be 180 billion. Bangalore is the richest city in India. There's 23 lakh people working in technology, larger than Silicon Valley. It pays 55-60% of Karnataka's taxes. Get peanuts, get very less. There's been no investment except talk and rhetoric. What we are seeing is the taxes that we pay is being taken away by people, by the political leaders, invested elsewhere to get votes. And that's because, Faye, you know that the delimitation has not taken place since 91. Right?
Yes.
So Bangalore has become 20% of Karnataka. We have 228 seats, but only 28 seats in Bangalore, which are 56 seats. If 56 seats come to Bangalore, we'll have political clout. No political clout. They don't care a damn. And they show us the middle finger. It's a very sad thing what they have done to Bangalore. I don't know how any government could ignore the cash cow that gives them great revenues and which is the pride of India and the pride of the world. It's a very sad thing, Faye. We are all born here. We live here. You feel sadder day by day at how successive governments ignore Bangalore. All of them make money from Bangalore. Many of them say we are in politics to do business. They're making a lot of money even now. Corruption is at all-time high across the government. And, say, I really don't know what to do. We only have to cry and leave the city.
Yeah. What is there a plan right now from within the tech industry or the startup industry to have employees work from their hometowns or have people go back home in order to, tide over the summer? Because we're only at the beginning of summer. June 30th is still a while away.
No, I would expect the government to call all of them to a meeting and share the, all the data with them and ask them for suggestion and work out a plan. There's a way to do it in a democracy. They have to call everybody, have a meeting with them, and say that, okay, now for the next 4 months, please work from home. And I think, look, my view is 10 to 15% of the population have to evacuate from Bangalore to be safe. Okay? It has to be in the areas which are in the outer ring of the city, where most of the tech parks are, because that's where the tanker water is supplied. We don't have enough water. Okay? And that has to be done with cooperation with people. So I think they must call a meeting, be honest, share all the data, and work out a plan, and it's perfectly fine. Everybody will cooperate. We understand there's a crisis. We understand that you can't control nature, so that, everybody will work together.
Well, I just had a conversation with Dr. T.V. Ramchandra of ISC, who has been talking about lakes and wetland management in Bangalore. He's told me that no one from government has gotten in touch with him to come up with solutions. He said they've not spoken to me yet.
Yeah, they're not spoken. They're not in the habit of speaking to citizens. Faye, this is an imperialistic government at work. After independence, one imperialistic government left, another imperialistic government came. They don't talk to people. They don't talk to stakeholders. Vidhan Sabha believes they have the greatest wisdom in the world. The ministers believe they have the right to decide. Many of them write policy and expect things to happen. It doesn't happen. You have to see the city government has to involve citizens. It's not about policy making. It's about handling a crisis. To handle a crisis, you must get people who know about all these matters, about data. You got to get all stakeholders, sit across the table, hammer out a solution, seek their cooperation, have regular communication, set up a war room under an additional chief secretary, and invite and tell people regularly what to do. So there's confidence, and take precautions well in time. For example, today, the schools are all shutting down, which is good for the summer holidays. We can tell people, why don't you go and take your holidays somewhere else, right? We could, colleges shutting down. Now, some of the colleges which don't have, exams, can they shut down earlier? Can they shut down earlier? And many of them who are from outside can leave the city. Can people go to other places and work from home so that, the burden of supplying water to 1.2 crore people comes down 10%, 15%, but the problem becomes lesser? Work on a solution. I mean, let's talk together, because we all know that there's no need to hide anything. There's no need to suffer later. The key thing is there enough water in the dam for that Kaveri area till June? I don't know, because we are seeing the dam levels keep coming down every single day. Then they say there's a dead level below which we cannot come down. Now, I think we all have to work together to work out a solution. This is not a blame game. Yes, we have to blame this government because they knew what is happening. They should have taken advanced action maybe 3-4 months back in accelerating the implementation of the Kaveri 5th or 6th phase, making sure the pipeline is supposed to come by May, comes by April or March, to give some support to those areas. Are looking at alternate source of dams, other places beyond Bangalore where they can get the water in. Something should have been done.
Mr. Pai, I want to ask you a larger national question here. We're doing a lot as a country to attract investment, to make the ease of doing business improve. But us cities on the city level, the Delhi-Gurgaon area has terrible AQI, for example. Bengaluru has bad traffic and now is running out of water. Mumbai has its own set of issues. Several cities have safety issues. Is there a need to include livability of our cities in our larger plan of ease of doing business? Because it matters to businesses.
Faye, India sadly, and bureaucracy sadly, still thinks India is a agricultural-centric, rural-centric country. It is not. I think urbanization has already reached 55% of India's population. Our definition of urbanization is, I think, a place of 5,000 plus people, not more than 25% in agriculture, etc., which is very old. We've not had a census, which is supposed to happen in 2021, so we don't have the latest data, right? We do not have delimitation, which will make sure urban areas get the right kind of political power. And we are not built governance in our cities. We've been pumping money into rural areas. We give about 7 to 8 lakh crore of subsidy a year for rural areas, farmers and everybody. But we don't care about the most productive areas of this country, the urban areas. We must improve governance at the city level. These are city level problems which have to be solved by city government, not the state government. Our Chief Minister Siddaramaiah cannot act as the mayor of Bangalore. We have not had elections in Bangalore for 2 years. We do not had, to expect one corporation commissioner to rule over 1.2 crore people, which is 60% of Karnataka GDP, is crazy, right? We need to break up Bangalore into 5 corporations, which was what they're supposed to do. We have to improve governance in Delhi. We have to improve governance in Bangalore. We have to give a lot more central funding to the cities. We have to invest in urbanization. Urbanization includes metros, includes roads, includes water supply, includes sewage, includes power connection. A lot of investment has to happen. Bombay is investing now. Hopefully your life will be better in Bombay in 2 years. When the metro comes up, this coastal road is completed, all this complete, Bombay will be transformed, right? And Bombay had money. Your BMC had 60, 70,000 crores in the bank, where in the morning and evening they do puja to the money. They should use the money to improve the quality of life. Only now the Dharavi slums are doing. In Bangalore, the peripheral road is supposed to come up for the last 20 years, not come up. The Ashok Kindi road is only half the city, other half is not come up. Only now Gadkari and Prime Minister Modi have given us the satellite town, which has improved traffic right from the old Madras road to Tumkur road. You know that area, right? So we need much more. I mean, you can't stop growth. You can't stop people congregating. You got to give water. And water is not difficult. It's a distribution problem. Is there a lack of water? Not on an annual basis, enough water. But you got to distribute the water. We have to recycle the wastewater. We set up recycling plans for half or 60% of our water consumption, but we're not sure the quality of the water because they have not invested. There's corruption. Now, if the water is recycled, the lakes can be filled, and we can get recycled water to near drinking. Singapore has 20% of its water supply from recycled water. There's so many technologies to do, but where is the management? Where is the care? Where is the attitude? Where is the oversight? Nothing. This is the tragedy of this country right now, that we ignored urbanization. We ignored the most productive part of our population. And we are just saying, give more subsidy, give more subsidy, give more subsidy to people in the rural areas, while you deprive the urban areas so large taxpayers of the due.
Yes. Mr. Pai, my last question to you is this. You've always been a very active citizen and part of many citizen groups that were interacting with government for the betterment of the city of Bengaluru. Are those groups still active?
No, Faye, a lot of groups are active. They're all writing articles. They're all on social media. They're doing it. But the government has to work with them. We have an imperialistic government. We sit in Vidhan Sabha and thinks they command us. We're all their servants. We are not citizens. We don't have rights. I mean, there's the attitude that they have, right? I mean, we have a chief minister who thinks the most important thing for his government is to give 5 kg free rice for 70% of population. Faye, do you think 70% of Kannadigas require 5 kg free rice per month? It's ridiculous, isn't it? They require better education for their children. They require better roads, the better education. He's not investing more in higher education, better schooling. Faye, only 40% of class 1 kids go to government schools in Karnataka. Do you know that? Only 40%. This data was 2 years old. Now it should be maybe 35%. People are leaving schools in droughts. I mean, this is a situation. You have to invest in people. You have to give them better skills, better education. You've got to give them better jobs. Karnataka is producing enough jobs. We're getting people from outside come and take very good jobs. We are not skilling our own people. Yet he wants to give 5 kg rice. That's the most important thing for him. What do you do with such people, Faye? See, we have to improve urban governance. We have to have good city governments. We have to have citizens and government in the cities working together to improve the quality of life. That requires an attitudinal change. When we have the 78th or 79th constitutional amendment, it ignored the towns, right? It made the panchayats. The panchayats have become powerful. What about the towns? The future about the towns, not the panchayats. But in every country as they develop, villages shrink, urban areas shrink. Today you go to Kerala, Faye, it's all urbanized, right? Where are those villages? They're all urbanized. You go to Mangalore, South Kendra district along the coast, they're all urbanized. The whole country is better urbanized today than any time. People come to urban areas for jobs, for medical help, education, because everything is available there. You've got to invest in them. And that is what this government has failed. Because the people are rulers, were thinkers, were brought up in the 70s, 80s, the era of shortages. They don't understand what has happened, what we need. They got to do 10, 15 years forward planning. They got to invest in town planners. They got to, Faye, in Bangalore, the BBMP has not hired people directly for many years. They get people on secondment. What do? They come in secondment, make their money and go back. I mean, the state. Karnataka doesn't lack money, Faye. It lacks visionary leadership. Yes. It lacks compassion and care for urban areas. It lacks good governance standards for the cities. Okay? We need a different kind of model. People here are cooperative. People here talk to government. People want to work with government. But where is the connection? You don't call people, you call them, give them some flowers and send them off and say, we met them, take a photograph and put it on social media. Oh, we met so-and-so, met so-and-so. Where is the interaction? It's a very sad day for all of us, Faye, because remember, Faye, so many of us have worked for 30, 40 years to build up the state, right? You know all of us, right? And today, after so many years, we still have the water problem, we still have a traffic problem, we still have the mobility problem, we still have this problem, dirty roads. The roads are not even clean, Faye. Does it take money to clean the roads? We spend 600 crores a year in Bangalore on garbage disposal. I think the tenders have not been issued for 10 years. Who cares? Nobody cares, right? Out of 200 ward councillors, Faye, 103 or 105 from the real estate industry brokers. Yeah. They all have taken the wash to themselves, and they're having hafta and roll calls to collect money. We must improve governance, Faye. This is a failure of governance in the city, failure of government in the city, failure of planning in the city, and we are suffering the consequences. And let me tell you, Faye, all the ministers and political leaders and bureaucrats will get their water. They get the water. They make sure. What about us? We are the taxpayers. We are the ones who create the wealth. We are the ones who create jobs. We are taxpayers. They are administrators. They will live in luxury. They know how to take care of themselves. Who is speaking for us? Who is speaking for us? Yeah. I mean, a very sad day, Faye.
It is a terrible day, Mr. Pai. Bangalore does not lack the talent. It doesn't lack innovation. It doesn't lack money. It lacks political will along with its work.
And compassion for the city. See, we need people who feel for the city. We feel for the city. This is the city all of us work to build and to grow. And this city is the pride of India, the science city, the tech city, one of the greatest cities in the world. We have more people working in technology in Silicon Valley. Any chief minister of a state where Bangalore is will be joyous about Bangalore. Will be saying, let me help them, let me do things, we can do great things. We pay so much of the tax of Karnataka. Now they're all shouting up and down, center doesn't give them tax, you pay tax. Where does the tax come from in Karnataka? From Bangalore. And within Karnataka, do we get our share? We don't get our share. Yet they go complain to central government, you're not giving us a share. What about giving us our share in Bangalore and urban areas? You don't give us our share. Give us our share. No, you're not invested in the city for the last 10, 15 years. We are behind in infrastructure, in every which way. Is all the governments are the same way? The only remedy is we must have better governance for the city corporation, break it up into 5 corporations, improve that, point number 1. Second, the delimitation exercise has to happen. Urban areas should have due representation in the legislature. So there'll be political crowd because democracy is a system of competitive lobbies. The urban lobby, the rural lobby is strong, farmer lobby is strong, the caste lobby is strong, the religious lobby is strong. The urban lobby is not there. The Bangalore lobby doesn't matter. We are very small in numbers because they don't have enough seats. So they don't care. They always respond to people who can create agitations, right? A small number of farmers in Punjab who create agitations. I mean, they're getting disproportionate attention. Every government is caving to them and giving them goodies. What about us? Right? We are the taxpayers. Bombay is the taxpayers. Delhi is the taxpayers. The air in Delhi is banned for 15 years. What has happened? What has happened? Remember, in Beijing before the Olympics, they cleaned up the air, right? They cleaned up the air. In Delhi, you put some smoke, you put some tower to take some air and it disappears after some time. All kind of rubbish. This odd even is all kind of rubbish. It doesn't work. You got to do other things in a big way. Solutions are there, Faye. Enough people who made scientific studies to give solutions. But you must listen, take decisions, monitor it, and make sure that it happens. Where is the governance? That is the problem.
And also the solutions tend to be fairly long-term, and most governments are interested in only knee-jerk, headline-making solutions that they can ban things and they can bring in, immediate seizing of tankers and things like that in order to give the impression that work is being done.
But it is not working. The tankers have disappeared. They're on strike. They'll shut down. Then where is the water supply? I mean, they should have told many of the apartment owners, okay, which are the tankers who come? You take water from there. And for other people who don't have water, you supply it from the BWSSP, right? They're already doing that. They must work out a solution. The solution is not ban. Anything that happens, ban, because, they think the article will not work. We need water every single day. In some of the apartments, they're going to the malls next door to use the toilets. They don't have water in the house. They're using the drinking water from the tap in the malls. They're having coffee there and breakfast there. They're all crying. What harm are these people done? They paid 50 lakhs, 1 crore for the apartments. Their life savings are there. And they don't have drinking water. They don't have 50 liters a day. I mean, this survival, 50 liters a day, they're not able to get. They got money to pay. They got everything. They shut off the supply. I mean, this, how can you do that? It's inhuman to deprive them of water. And whom they call up? Whom did they go to? You have impoverished all these people. So I think it's a sad day, Faye.
It is a sad day. Mr. Pai, thank you so much for speaking with us. The situation in Bangalore all around, whether it's on the roads, whether it's the garbage, the air, the traffic, and now the water, is a situation that has been piling over many years. And we're now seeing symptoms of complete disinterest of the government. Mr. Mohandas Pai, thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you.